I'm Nick, a prop builder of 5 years now. Welcome to my show, Props by Phoenix. To start making Aqua, Pyrrha's shield, I take a piece of 10mm EVA foam. It's 1/2 meter by 1/2 meter, which is just bigger than the size the shield is going to be when it's all cut out. The first thing I do is put it on top of this round bin to shape it, and heat it with a heat gun, and weigh the middle down until I get the curvature that I want. I use the lid of the bin, and it also helps keeping it nice and round. After it's been moulded to shape, Steve cuts that circular pattern with the semicircles on the sides. He uses a bandsaw because it's a lot easier than using an X-Acto knife. This happens after I've shaped it because it guarantees I'll end up with the circular shape I want and it won't get mangled by the heating process. For Milo, who is short sword or more accurately, Seaforce, I take a piece of pine that I picked up at the hardware store, marked out the outline of the base piece and have Steve cut it again on the bandsaw. Now that Steve's cut the base shape, it's time for me to start shaping the blade profile and rounding off the handle. The Seaforce was an ancient Greek double-edged short sword, commonly used as a secondary battlefield weapon and often made of bronze or iron. I start painting the first coat to see if I could get away with no undercoat, and then realise my mistake, so I'm going to have to go over it with a base coat of white. Now with more layers of painting done, it's starting to look like it should. The red came out nicely, and the painter's tape ensures that I won't get any of the yellow sections. This is pretty much done for painting, and the carving on the handle came through too. I've added some of the detailing on the lower section of the blade here, including Pyrrha's emblem. Now that all the painting is done, it's time to put a coat of varnish on it. I do this to protect the paint job just as you would any other piece that's going to get handled a goodly amount. Since both of these pieces are going to be taken to a convention, that's a must. But also because I use mostly acrylic, which comes off quite easily in the right conditions. It can also be useful for bringing out certain aspects of the paint, or just giving it a specific surface finish that sometimes you just can't get when using a certain material or paint. As the first of these two pieces, Milo and Aqua. Spray paint ran a little on Aqua, but there's nothing I can do about it unfortunately, so I'll just play it off as battle damage. For Crocky and Morse, it's going to be a little more complicated. This is going to be constructed of 3 main parts: the hilt, which will include the pommel, the crossguard, and the blade. Here Steve is cutting out the crossguard piece, which I've marked out on a thick piece of wood. Now that the crossguard is cut out, I've cleaned it up somewhat on a belt sander to give it a more accurate shape, as well as flatten the bottom for the hilt piece. Now I take the crossguard to a milling machine, where I will do 2 things. First, I cut straight through the middle peak to give clearance for the blade to slide into it. As it turns out, this didn't actually work the first time because I made the slopes too thin and they just broke off. So I'll have to think of something else. The second thing I need to do here is to cut another slot beneath that, which the blade's tang will fit into. Afterwards, I'll secure both pieces together with some polyurethane glue, commonly referred to as wood glue. You can see how the 2 pieces are going to fit together, although they're not quite there yet, so I'm going to have to make some more cuts. I've marked out this piece of MDF. I use MDF because it's relatively lightweight and easy to shape. You can see a tang on the end here. It's cut out. I've done some of the blade profiling. It's a very cartoon-like European sword with a straight triangular tip, but I'm going to have to curve some of the edges so it lasts longer against accidental knocks. This sword was handed down through generations of Jean's family, so it's going to have some nicks on the edge of the blade as battle damage. I start lathing the hilt. It's a fairly simple hilt, mostly circular, nothing fancy, and the pommel is just a round button-like piece with a step. Then the main issue is how long it's going to take to turn down from a piece of this size down to a hilt which is about half its thickness. One of the benefit of using wood, however, is that it will take a fraction of the time to turn down than something made of metal, for example, a lightsaber. The stock isn't completely straight. I drill a hole in one end, and now I'm going to use a live center to keep it straight while I work on it. It's called a live center because the middle section rotates with the piece. Under normal circumstances, I would wrap this hilt with something, usually cloth tape or leather, depending. This hilt is just 2 shades of blue, so I'm just going to paint it and then have painted tape running along following the pattern. One of the many useful things a lathe can do is allow you to use manual tools on the piece and provide a uniform finish for things, like sandpaper in this instance, or file. Since typically lathing wood often makes it a very rough surface, you definitely need that finish. And here's all 3 pieces of the Crocky and Horse sword. The hilt piece here has a hole through the center, with a metal rod going through it into the crossguard, to keep them both in place and provide additional stability. I've done some more work on the hilt, making it more of an oval than circular. It's going to make it easier to hold. I've also put the hole in the crossguard, so now I can line them up like so, and put them together. I've now done the preliminary paint job on the hilt and the blade. At this stage, I've got them held together with masking tape to hold it in place while the 2-part epoxy araldite glue holds it together. Now that the sword's nearly finished, I'm going to start work on the shield. Using half of a template, I mark it out on the stock piece, a thick piece of plywood, and mirror it to get the full shape of the shield. To get the curve in this shield, I've cut 2 pieces called formers which act as cross braces. I've also cut in 2 slots on the curved side of each of them to allow for the sword blade to be sheath paired. The extra one I've also added a thin piece of plywood to cover the sword blade to make a full scabbard to protect the sword while it's sheathed. Now back of the shield is a metallic silvery grey. I don't often use spray paint, but when I do, it's usually for metallic pieces like sword blades. Otherwise I just used a real deal and shaped some aluminium, but only when appropriate. I've added another cross brace that is really just there for aesthetic appeal and practicality. Here I've finished the final coat of white paint for the front of the shield, so that sheen isn't going to last, but it still looks pretty good from where I'm standing. Here you can see the extent of the curve in the shield. I've propped the shield up so as not to get newspaper stuck to the edges. You can also see that I've added 2 arm straps made of double layered gaffer tape that matches. I've made a stencil for the ARC logo emblazoned on the front, so back to the spray paint, gold this time. Spray painted the logo, and the detailing on the top edge, but both need a bit of cleanup. I've tried to make the scabbard work like it does on the show, easy to remove with any sheath. It sticks a little, so if I rub the blade with some velvet soap and sheath it a few times, it should line the scabbard and make it easier. The tip's been wrapped around the hilt and the gold parts are all done. Just gotta paint the tape now. So here's the shield, fully completed. I've added some battle damage and some lines where the shield would fold in on itself in the show, and gave it a final coat of varnish. I think it got pretty close to the original, where you can see the fold lines on one side. Also, I put a line of black along the edges, since the original has that. It might just because it's a cartoon, but it makes it stand out, which is nice. There you have it. Crocky and Horse, family weapon of the ARC family. And Milo and Aqua, signature sword and shield of the famed fighter Piro Nikos. These are both made for PAX Australia. Thanks to Global Cosplay for the pictures. Like and subscribe for more videos. See pictures of my past projects on my Google Plus profile. And 2016 kinda sucked, so to all of you out there, have a great new year.